Oh no!
Oh no!
Did a recent rainstorm or trip to the car wash cause you to have water pooling in the floorboard of your Land Rover LR3? Then this is the video for you.
Obsession.
Brought to you by Waffle Square.
Hi, I'm Mike. Welcome to my Waffle Square, where I obsess about things and you get to benefit from it. Well, in episode 23 of our ongoing series where we are refurbishing this 2006 Land Rover LR3 for my daughter Aspen, who's almost to driving age, by the way, we are going to be addressing the very issue causing, in our case, water to be pooling from the sunroof all the way down into the floorboard. Now, there are going to be many steps to this repair, centering right around here in the lower driver's side or left-hand side of our Land Rover. And it's not difficult, there's just a lot of steps. And the good news is the replacement part is very inexpensive. So let's get started. And I couldn't be considered obsessive if I didn't hook up a trickle charger to the Land Rover every time I bring it into work on. The first step is to remove this footrest, and at first glance you might think that just like when we recovered our seats, we just need panel clip removers to pop out these pieces of trim, but actually you just need to get under this right here with a fingernail or maybe a screwdriver, lift this first piece of the footrest off, and that exposes 2 bolts, and they are, to the surprise of no one, say it with me, 10 millimeter. Once these 2 nuts that have the captive washers on them are removed from in here, you want to pull straight up like this, because there's this little lip right here on the inside that goes into this piece of trim, that slit right there. Next, we'll remove the hood release handle. And as you can see in this close-up of it, that is a T15 Torx bit. Now that the handle is removed, we need to remove this piece of trim. So there are 2 Christmas tree type panel clips, one here, one down here. You're going to need a panel removal tool like one of these. That'll be very helpful. I'm going to pop it out and let me show you right where those are. So here's that panel removed, and yeah, what do you think? Is that a problem? So with the water emptied out and the piece laid down, let's get our bearings. So this is the curved piece that comes right through the kick plate here and up. This opening you see right here is where the hood latch release handle is. So just below that is the first tree you're going to need to pop out of place. This second one down here, straight down from it, is going to be basically at the end of the curve. And this over here is just a little rubber pad, like a sound deadener, and it's on a standoff. So you don't have to do anything with that. It's just there to keep it from rattling. Now right here where my hand is, there is a big opening that we're going to want to look through so we can see where our problem is. Now this is the piece that's right over by the vent that warms or cools your feet. So you want to pull straight out, because there are these 2 straight captive metal spring-loaded pins. Once you do that, there are these 2 hooks that are straight like that you'll want to remove. And that gives you access to this area right here, which you'll see in a minute when I light it with my flashlight is imperative. Now we can take a Phillips screwdriver, and here's a close-up of these screws. They are captive little quarter turn screws. So you're not screwing them out a bunch, just like quarter to a half turn. And once you do that, this piece starts coming down, and in the back, as you can see in this video, there are 2 spots where this plastic piece of trim goes into the firewall. So very gently pry those back, and you'll be able to move this out of the way and give you access back here to where the tube is at. This is the housing for the little LED light down by your feet when you're coming into the vehicle, and this is the plug for it. So you're going to want to gently remove that from this little spot right here before you pull this down too far. So after removing all those pieces, getting this panel down, I can see through here. And here is the tube. That's our drain tube right there. And if you look, the piece that goes through and holds into the metal has corroded off. It's broken off. So instead of buying the entire hose, I'm just buying a set of 4 of these little rubber connectors right here. I've ordered the replacement hose connector. So until then, in case it rains, I put a rubber glove I just used around the tube with a zip tie to keep out any more moisture. So I removed that rubber glove that was over the tube after a pretty significant rainstorm. And if we lift it up, oh yeah. Yeah, all that was going to be destined for the floorboard. So I got my delivery of these new little plugs, and let's go install it down there so we can button everything up on the driver's side. And be sure to peel back the rubber on the replacement tubes because they have a very rigid piece of plastic tubing in them to help them hold their shape, and that's not going to work for us. We got to remove that. So a very gentle run along the remnant of the old rubber plug with my favorite box cutter here reveals our tube now with like a little red piece of tape showing on it. I bet you that's like a warning to get it above that tape because I couldn't see it before. Just like I've done with the kids' bicycle grips over the years, I'm just going to use a little bit of dish soap and water and get that in there so we can push it up into place, turn it to position it right into place, and we should be good to go. There, doesn't that look good as new? All right. Now the hole's back here. I'm just going to squeeze it in there. There's really no better angle for the camera. All right. So if you look in there, there's no red tape visible, but you do not have to push it all the way, the new grommet all the way onto this tube. You can leave it down a little bit so it allows you the flexibility to get it in there. And with that, we can finally remove this ugly old shop towel. I am not, however, going to replace it with the Land Rover mats because they're not raised on the sides, and Aspen feeds her horse in the morning before school. She's going to be getting in and out of it in the rain and snow and mud. So instead, I found this company, Omac, and they are on Amazon. I'll leave a link for it. Perfect, just like WeatherTech style mats for driver, passenger, and rear seats. So let's bring them over. And right into place, even has a little bit for the footrest. Perfect fit. So if you found this video helpful, will you please give it a thumbs up? It's really helpful to the channel. Also, please consider subscribing. I'm under the gun now, so to speak, to get all these little things we have left to do for Aspen's car before she's of driving age. So there's going to be a lot more videos in this series to come. Now, I must confess, there is another hose back there from one of those other windows in some or all of these Land Rovers. But we're just gonna see no evil, speak no evil for now, because I have so many other things that I want to get done on her car before she's driving. And that leads me to the point that I need your help. What would you rather see in the next video? In a previous video, we had removed the old radio deck out of this vehicle and replaced it with this really nice Alpine stereo deck. It has the capability for a backup camera. In fact, right now when we put it in reverse, it goes to a blank screen with some like little fake cones drawn on it. And I think a backup camera is very safe and necessary for a young driver like Aspen, and even for an older guy like me who struggles to get his neck around these days. Would you rather see that video next, where I install that backup camera and run all the wiring back up to here? Or would you rather see me repair the door lock actuator on the passenger door so that Aspen can actually lock the doors with the remote and have all four of them secure? Let me know in the comments below, and we'll get started on that one next. Until then, thank you for watching.